Well, hello there, everybody. I had no need to hide the whiteboard. I think you saw from the title exactly what show this is. I don't know what I'll title this yet. Maybe you haven't. One thing, and I believe, I don't know, but I think this was like a daytime set, and then they came back later on and played sets 2 and 3, if I'm not mistaken. Because if they didn't, my God, you know how I am about these long shows. I mean, it was too much. I'm glad they broke it up. I'm sure they did. If you were there, I'm sure it was fine. Couch tour, a bit much. 21 years later, a bit much. But if you were there and you were probably like, he had nothing else to do, Phish could just play all damn day and night. And I mean, basically, if you include the sound check and the tower jam, the early sets, the two late sets, they essentially did play all damn day, which would have been too much for me. I love Phish, but I don't need Phish like just constantly playing. And by the time you got down here to this Waves jam, it was like, all right, they're 3 hours in, they're already running out. We're getting into the opiate tone. I will say too, if I can get all my complaints out of the way here, believe me, we're gonna get into this, and it was nice. But Trey's that post hiatus Trey tone at sometimes. Oh man, I just want to cover my ears at times with him. And we got off such an amazing start. In fact, this start right here, the AC/DC bag through Reba, it was such an amazing start that I think it carried the whole damn day. I mean, this is one of the highest rated shows they've ever played, really. Ever. Not just festivals, three setters, whatever. The 4.6 rating on .net, for what's that's worth, is where this one sits right now. And it was all outstanding. I mean, that was a great opener. This Yamar was one of a kind. And maybe, one of my favorite Yamars ever. I kind of had forgotten how awesome this was. Maybe one of my favorite things from the entire festival, believe it or not. And then the gym just felt like just a powerful, energetic gym into Reba. The jam and Reba just had extra, more than extra. Just felt like, all right, this is something special. Let's deliver. Then we started getting into more of the jam. I didn't really love like all the big jams, whether if it was Down with Disease or Waves. And then maybe there was even something over here. I guess like, the rock and roll. Some of the like tier two jams, like Reba, not necessarily like a big jam of the night. All kind of built in. Although Yamar was a big one and it delivered. But the Birds of a Feather was just okay. In fact, I kind of like the Meat Stick more. Deep in the jam, Mike starts going off with that sort of cool bubbly bass sound he has, and then Trey worked with it, rather than the other way around, rather than wow 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 wow. Trey and his damn 03 tone and everybody trying to work with that. Trey was actually working with Mike there a little bit. Two versions of me, something we don't get very often or ever anymore, really. Nice to hear that one. Then this Vultures limb by limb combo was really strong. Kind of wish they would have just ended it there. There was no need for Cavern after these two here. But we got a Cavern to close the set. Felt like NICU and Brother could have been pulled over here too, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why that just jumped out at me. And then the Down with Disease, it ended strong. It took a while though. There was a big middle section in the Down with Disease jam where it's like, not a lot going on here. Then it kind of got like this hard. It just kind of like a dark, hard, heavy sort of end. But then they take that into NICU, which is not exactly a dark song. And then well, at least it doesn't sound dark. Very happy, polite song. And then the NICU Brother, yeah, like I was saying, this kind of felt like it belonged over here. But it was nice here. 1, 2, 3. We start to check off some songs. No ambient noises to be found, but we're going to get into that. And then to Discern, a Trey song that I had certainly forgotten about. I haven't dusted off the IT Festival in a while. This thing here, though, had a little jam at the end. That was kind of nice. Doesn't seem like a song that would necessarily fit Phish right now, but it worked. And maybe someday we'll get another Discern. I doubt it. We won't. We can go ahead and book it. We can go ahead and mark it right now. They're never playing that one again, okay? So then we get into Waves, and I'm a big Waves guy here recently. Starting, maybe some point over the last year, I became a big Waves guy. I don't know. I know there's been some great ones, but I almost like all of them now. I didn't like this one at all. We got into 10 minutes or so, maybe more, of just ambient noise. It's like, hey, the tower jams later. They're just warming up or something. I don't know. And then we get a David Bowie, a big powerful end to the second set here. So they covered up for the Waves, the nonsense and Waves. I'm sure the other guys in the band were probably like, what is Trey doing? What is Trey doing? All right, and we'll find out later that fall. So then Rock and Roll, Seven Below. So that's like all kind of felt like it all sort of blended together a little bit here. I saw on .net they had like Seven Below listed twice. I don't know about that. Not on the official F Zappa 20 whiteboard. We're just going Seven Below, Sense and Subtle Sounds. A very 2.0 song. You know, one of the kings of 2.0 was Sense, but it was just okay. And then kind of like Discern here, we get to spread it round. And its jam was maybe similar to Discern, how it sort of was one of my favorites from this set, and it probably wasn't supposed to be. Same thing here with Spread It Round. Again, probably one we're not going to ever get again, but it's an interesting song, really. It's like it starts out, and I think, I hate this song. This is awful. And by the end, it's actually kind of cool. They only played it a few times, but the live ones are usually decent. Then they end this whole sucker with Bug, and then we get an encore of Doglog Mango Song, which I was very happy with that encore. I'm not a Doglog guy. Mango Song, always fun. Still surprised they haven't played it more. I think I mention that every time they play Mango Song. But yeah, if you were there, awesome day. If they couch toured in 03, I would have been like, come on, are you ever going to stop playing? You know, recapping it for a channel member, Jill, 21 years later, I'm like, oh, come on. Are they ever going to stop playing? But ultimately, it was a really strong show, day one of the festival. And then, but I do stand by this first 45 minutes to an hour over here. I think it really did carry the whole. I mean, this stuff was outstanding. Obviously, most people aren't going to have time to listen to the show. I mean, you could spend a week listening to it, but if you're going to jump into something, you're like, yeah, I'd like to hear a little bit of it. It's been a long time. Go with this opening segment. Down goes State 3. 2 versions of Me's was fun. Me's? 2 versions of Me's? All right. Well, thanks for the request. Thank you for being a member. And I get a little sloppy on the 3-set whiteboards. August 2nd, 2003. I've been to a couple shows on August 2nd. I think I was down in Pelham, Alabama. I about said Mississippi. It's not in Mississippi. It's in Alabama. Then the following year, I was in Tuscaloosa. But who cares? That's not what this is about. Boom, we're out of here. Enjoy it. People did. I did. Somewhere in the middle of the festivals. It wasn't the best festival, but tell you what, it was the best festival of 2.0.